Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, in this video, we will present our group discussion with a short story. The title is Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? By Joyce Carol Oates. Before we start it, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Putri Mei Fadhillah.
Hello everyone, my name is Puja Gustiayu, Julung, Sekar.
And my name Puput Asrida Dewi.
We will discuss about biography, about story, plot, character, POV, and then settings. Then our project goals are plot, what happened with this story. Second is characters, who acts. Then POV, who sees what. And then setting, where and when to do the event take place.
Hello everyone, it's me again, Puja Gustiayu, and I want to tell you about the biography of Joyce Carol Oates. Joyce Carol Oates is an American writer. Oates published her first book in 1963 and has since published 58 novels, a number of plays and novellas, and many volumes of short stories, poetry, and non-fiction according to Wikipedia. Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? Is a 1966 short story by the American writer Joyce Carol Oates. It is regarded by many critics as Oates' best story and is widely studied and praised for its treatment of some of the darker aspects of early 1960s America.
I am Puput Asrida Dewi and I will tell you about the short story Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? 1966 is one of the hundreds of short stories written by author Joyce Carol Oates, 1938. Arguably one of her most famous pieces, Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? Remains an important piece of the puzzle that is an American literature. The short story, written during the 1960s in the center of social change, represents much of the ideas of 1960s America and can also serve as an allegorical tale about death and evil. Centered on a young teenage girl asserting her independence, Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? Is an interesting read with roots in reality and fantasy and confronts audience today. Keep reading for the analysis and more of Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been?
And the next topic is plot, and I will talk about plot of the story. The plot consists of exposition, conflict, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. And I will tell you in the exposition of the story. Connie was a 15-year-old girl. She lived with her mother, her father, and her sister June. Her mother always compared her to her sister, and her father was always busy with his work. Connie had a best friend named Betty, who Connie always talked to about her family. Because of the lack of attention from her parents, Connie would rather spend time with her friends than with her family. And the second is conflict. One day, while Connie and Betty were talking alone, Eddie approached Connie to take her out to eat. They left by car. Connie's eyes wandered to the glass and she looked around her. Just then, she came face to face with a hairy black-haired man in a gold jeep. Connie looked at him and turned away, but she couldn't help but glance back again, and he was still looking at her and grinning and saying, "Gonna get you, baby." Connie then turned away without Eddie noticing.
Hello, my name is Putri Mei Fadhillah. I will talk about rising action. On Sunday, Connie's family went for a barbecue, but Connie refused to go. Connie was home alone and turned on the radio to ease the loneliness. It wasn't long before she heard the sound of a car coming. She was sure her father couldn't be home that soon. She looked out the window and went to the kitchen to approach the door. Two men were in the car, and she recognized the driver, who had shaggy black hair and was grinning at her. Next is climax. Connie remembered the man she met at the restaurant. His name was Arnold Friend. Arnold kept forcing Connie to go out on dates with him. Arnold also knew everything about Connie and her family. Connie threatened to call the police if Arnold wouldn't leave her house, but Arnold threatened to force his way in if Connie called the police, and he won't hurt Connie's family if Connie didn't get out of the house soon.
Hello everyone, it's me again, Puja Gustiayu, and I will tell you about the following action of this short story. The following action is Connie's mind was fighting between her fear of Arnold and she didn't want to let Arnold hurt her family. Connie was confused and scared, and she looked at the side where there was a phone on the table. She thought about calling anyone, but she was too weak to pick it up. She screamed and cried, then her legs gave out. Connie blushed on the floor while listening to Arnold's words and threats to get Connie to come with him. And the final plot of this short story is resolution. The resolution of this story is at the end of the story, Connie felt the cold floor beneath her feet. She put her hand on the screen door, then pushed it gently. She moved out into the sunlight where Arnold and his friend waited.
And next is characters. We have 4 characters in this story. They are Connie, Arnold's friend, Connie's mother, and Connie's father. The first character is Connie. She is a pretty girl. She cares more about how she looks when she goes out. We know that from the paragraph 1. The sentence is, she had a quick nervous giggling habit of craning her neck to glance into mirrors or checking other people's faces to make sure her own was alright.
And the second character is Connie's mother. She is highly critical of the daughter, Connie. She always compares Connie with her sister. We know from this sentence in the paragraph 2. Why don't you keep your room clean like your sister? Have you got your hair fixed? What the hell stink? Hairspray? You don't see your sister using that gel. Connie's mother always compares Connie with her sister, and that's why Connie's always mad with her mother.
The next character is Connie's father. He is a negligent. He is always busy with his work and also doesn't care enough to his family. We know this. According to paragraph 3, the father was away at work most of the time, and when he came home, he wanted supper and he read the newspaper at supper, and after supper, he went to bed.
And the next character is Arnold's friend. He is a predator acting presumably out of his lust and trying to go after Connie. We know that from paragraph 104. He said, I know that too, I know all about you. But look, it's real nice and you couldn't ask for nobody better than me, or more polite. I always keep my word, I will tell you how it is. I'm always nice at first, the first time. I will hold you so tight you won't think you have to try to get away or pretend anything because you will know you can't. And I will come inside you where it's all secret and you will give in to me and you will love me.
So the next one is point of view. I will explain the point of view of this story. The point of view used in this story is third person omniscient. This point of view can be identified by using third person pronouns like he, him, she, her, it, they, and them. We know from this sentence. The first sentence is her name was Connie. The writer uses her as the third person pronouns. And the second sentence is she was 15 and she had a quick nervous giggling habit of craning her neck to glance into mirrors or checking other people's faces to make sure her own was right. The writer uses she and her as a third person pronouns. And the last sentence is one night in midsummer they ran across breathless with tearing, and right away someone leaned out a car window and invited them over. But it was just a boy from high school they didn't like. The writer uses they as a third person pronouns. Hi, it's me Puja again, and I will explain the setting. The first is setting of place. The first setting of place is at the restaurant. She spent 3 hours with him at the restaurant where they ate hamburgers and drank cokes in mixed cup that were always waiting. We know from the sentence in paragraph 9. And the second setting of place is Connie's house. She went inside the house and turned on the radio to drown out the quiet. We know from the sentence in paragraph 13. And the last setting of place is in the kitchen. She went into the kitchen and approached the door slowly, then hung out the screen door, her bare toes curling down off the step. We know from this sentence in paragraph 17.
Hi, it's me, Putri again. I wanna tell you about setting of time. First, the story happened in the summer season. She and a girl, and occasionally another girl, went out several times a week that way. And the rest of the time, Connie spent around the house. It was summer vacation, getting in her mother's way and thinking, dreaming about the boys she met. This is on paragraph 10. Second, the story happened in 2 times at the night and Sunday morning in the summer. First point is, one night in midsummer, they ran across, breathless with daring, and right away someone let out a car window and invited them over, but it was just a boy from high school they didn't like. This is on paragraph 7. And next point, one Sunday, Connie got up at 11. No one of them bothered with courage and washed her hair so that it could dry all day long in the sun. This is, we can now on paragraph 12.
And the last is setting of social surrounding. This story takes place around the 1960s when the world was beginning to move into the modern era and people more fashionable by use hairspray to style their hair. People like to go to cinema, drive-in restaurant to spend their time. And when Connie mentioned about her favorite singer, Bobby King, on paragraph 18, according to Wikipedia, Riley B. King, also known as Bobby King, was a famous singer in 1956 until 1970. He performed in more than 200 concerts per year until the 70s.
This is all our explanation and discussion about the short story Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? By Joyce Carol Oates. We hope you enjoy this video and understand well. And happy day and good day everyone. Goodbye. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.